Well, the fact is that it was a resolution of the House and not some legislation that has to go to the Senate or be signed by the president. And it was for us to say, and by the way, in the most gentle way. You have no idea the provisions that some people wanted to have in that resolution. This was as benign. It condemned the words of the president, not the president, but the words of the president. And in doing so, it anchored itself in the words of Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, beautiful speech by Ronald Reagan, which I reference all the time. And so you would have thought that that benign approach might have appealed to them. But when you say, were you surprised, were you disappointed, my expectations are not great, but you always hope that they might do the right thing and say that that language that the president used was beneath the dignity of the president, beneath the dignity of the people he was criticizing. And by the way, we were offended that he spoke in such a way about members of Congress, but we're offended that he says that about people across the country all the time. Go back where you came from. And that, by its definition, those words are racism. You go look in the AP and other places where they define certain words. That's what that is. But we weren't saying that he was racist. We were saying that the words that he used were racist. So that was as gentle as it could be, considering the inappropriateness and the disgusting nature of what the president said. So that we did what our members wanted to do and had a very strong 100% vote on it.
The president is clearly trying to cast this broader debate as a choice between him and your more progressive members. This fight has now dominated the conversation this week. You've had your resolution. The Democrats are rallying behind these members. Are you concerned that the president is goading you? Is there
you know what? With all due respect, let's not waste our time on that. We're talking about what we're going to do to help the American people. Our caucus is unified on all of that. Throughout the whole campaign, I said to the candidates, don't even mention his name. Everybody knows who he is. You don't have to describe him to anybody. Let's just talk about what we are going to do. And we're going to devote the whole month of August to our For the People agenda, which was successful in terms of connecting with people and their concerns. It's still the cost of health care, the stagnation of wages, and the distrust of government are still loom large as concerns for the American people, and that's what we're going to be about. What you mean in terms of bringing up an impeachment? Well, for an impeachment, articles of impeachment to succeed, I haven't really actually seen his articles of impeachment, but are they about racism? We'll deal with that resolution on the floor. But as I have said over and over again, with all the respect in the world for Mr. Green, he's a very prayerful person, and he cares very much about our Constitution and our country. So as I say, with all the respect in the world for him, we have 6 committees that are working on following the facts in terms of any abuse of power, obstruction of justice, and the rest that the president may have engaged in. That is the serious path that we are on. Not that Mr. Green is not serious, but we'll deal with that on the floor.
Will you vote to table it? Will you vote to table it?
I don't know what we will do, but we will deal with it on the floor.
Madam Speaker, thank you. On the debt ceiling here, you've
Yes.
been talking to Stephen Mnuchin.
Yes.
What is the pathway now on that in spending caps?